Allow me to begin by saying that everyday life is a struggle, and by asking, what better way is there of dealing with struggles than to stand up and fight them? We live in a rat race, constantly being pushed around from one issue to another, accumulating stress as we go, and I think we can all agree that life isn't always fair, and it's always throwing jabs at us, whether it be at school, at work, or at home. And then when we least expect it, bam, that sudden right hook that floors you. And it's up to you to get back up, get on your feet, and continue marching forward. Because part of living a life is to deal with the obstacles that are in your path, to get back up, and no matter what knocks you down, continue marching forward. Because of this, I want to tell everybody here, and I want to encourage you to begin training in a martial art, any kind of martial art, and start living a new life. Many fighters have overcome trials that other people might not have been able to. You have Bruce Lee, who survived gang-occupied Hong Kong, moved to the United States, and then tamed his anger, because he had anger issues. And then he defied his culture, developed Jeet Kune Do, and introduced martial arts to the Western world. You have Muhammad Ali, who after the controversy surrounding his evasion of the Vietnam draft, solidified his career to become one of the greatest heavyweight boxers there is. And more recently, and probably remarkably, you have Roger Huerta, a man who is at the top of the world today, but who at the age of 12 was homeless and living on rooftops. Today, he was the first mixed martial artist to ever be on the cover of Sports Illustrated and is currently a contracted fighter to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So what is it about training to fight that helps you deal with life and makes it easier? That's the question I'm here to answer today. You see, fighting isn't about throwing kicks and punches to beat someone up. It's about strategy. It's about skills, technique, and decision-making, all coming together for one goal. That one goal being victory and to continue. When you're in a fight, there's no room for hesitation. If you see an opening on your opponent, you have to move in. You have to end the fight quickly. It's for your safety and for your opponent's safety. The longer a fight goes, the more risk there is of there being severe injury. Also, you have to analyze your situation, take into account small details, maybe the shifting of weight, from feet to feet, the rotation of your hips, how your shoulders might be moving when he's coming into a punch, and react defensively on the spot, because if there's any hesitation with your defense, you will be hit. And when you first walk in, you might be a little hesitant, to throw your first few punches, to get hit. But as soon as you start training, the hesitation will be pretty much beaten out of you, although it might sound, but pretty much beaten out of you, and you learn to react on the spot. So how does this help you with life? How does it help you out in the real world? Let's apply this to an office meeting. You're in your office and someone comes barging in, yelling their heads off because there's a situation that needs a quick solution. Everybody goes into chaos, but you're able to stay there, stay calm, and then formulate your answer based on the details. You catch details that other people might miss, and you formulate an answer and you give it. Then people look up to you and they say, how'd you do that? And then pretty soon they'll be coming to you for aid. And taking that decision itself is a risk, because you don't know how it might go. It might come out great. It might be a horrible decision. But the thing is, you took that risk to make that decision, and that's another thing fighting does for you. It teaches you to take risks, because you can't always be a defensive fighter. Sometimes you have to burst into that flurry that you sometimes see ending in a knockout, which is the most decisive form of victory there is, and that's the way it should be with life. Sometimes you have to put all your chips on the table and be willing to take a huge risk to advance your life and to further it, because if you never take risks in life, I am of the opinion that you're just wasting it, because life is what it is today in society because of the risks other people have taken. If they hadn't taken those risks, then society wouldn't be what it is. And through this, you're never alone. Contrary to what it might appear like, fighting is a team sport. Every person in your corner helped you. You have team members that were there to build you up. You spend so much time with these people, and you build relationships on blood, sweat, and tears with them that you can't help but care for each other. If you're training to be a competitive fighter, you're training 20 plus hours a week. Now, for those of you that just take it as a hobby, then you still spend a lot of time with these people, and you can't help but truly care for each other. Recently I told my coach, my chief instructor, Eric Williams, that fighting isn't something that I wanted to do as a career, rather a hobby, that what I really wanted to do was be a doctor. He said, great, He said he could help me because there was a lot of doctors that trained with him, that if I ever had the time to give him a call and, maybe start an internship or a mentoring program with one of his doctors. And this was an instance in which, being part of that community of fighters helped establish relationships and connections that might help out instead of just breaking people's faces. Also, it teaches you perseverance to keep moving, because a fighter's workout is one of the toughest workouts there is out there. You're constantly pushing yourself, and your teammates, they force you to find your limits and then exceed your limits. Because while you're working out, there's many stages where you just want to drop off, quit, throw in your towel. But they won't let you. They will pick you up, they will carry you, they will force you to continue until you can't anymore, or until you finish your workout. What do you learn there? That teaches you to keep going, because no matter how great a discomfort you might be feeling, no matter what you may be going through, it doesn't last forever. And all you have to do is outlast your pain, outlast your discomfort. When it comes to life, let's say you take a hit financially, or you lose someone in your life. It's pretty hard. Everybody will take a fall, stumble. But you have to realize that eventually it will pass. There's no going back. We can't go back in time. All we can do is get back up and keep moving forward. And that's what you have to do. Get back up, take that first step, your next step, and then the next, and pretty soon you realize that you've come quite a ways and you've moved on to a new stage in your life. And that's what you learn with fighting. And if you look at the pictures behind me, this is my team. These are the people at Elite Mixed Martial Arts, and they've been helping me develop as a fighter, as a person. And just the teamwork that you go through with them is something that I consider that people, should do. And it's a huge impact in people's lives. And also, I'd have to argue that fighting is one of the best stress relievers there is out there. You could argue this about any sport, but I think more so fighting, because it drains more energy, and it's the draining of energy that really soothes you, that calms you. When you're in a fight, every single fiber in your body is geared towards those 5 minutes. You're concentrating all your energy, all your focus, whether it be into your punches, into your elbows, into your knees, into your shins. It's all concentrated, and it diverts energy from the rest of your body to one specific point. And it's this diversion that distracts you from everything else and makes nothing else matter except for those next 5 minutes ahead of you. That opponent you have to defeat, that mountain you have to climb. And even if you have really difficult circumstances, you go into a gym feeling bad, I can guarantee to you that once you walk out, you will feel much, much better, because you would have left all your hardships, your difficulties, and if not all, maybe most of them, on the mats, on the bags, as your sweat. That is the proof of your work. That proves, that you overcame it. And with every ounce of sweat that you lose, you're seriously shedding a lot of weight off your shoulders, because you're not thinking of the outside world. For that moment, you're zoned in, you're focused, and nothing else matters. These 3 things have really changed who I myself am. I used to be pretty hesitant, pretty shy. I wouldn't be able to make decisions on the spot. I would freeze, and I would let opportunities pass by because of that. I no longer do that. If there's an opportunity, I stand up, I go for it. What's the worst that can happen? I take a step back, I fall, something doesn't go as I planned. But there's always other chances. You can always keep moving on. And I have learned that through fighting. I have also been able to, remain calm, become more calm, stay cool, and in situations that I would have felt uncomfortable in otherwise. And I came out today and explained to you, some of the reasons why I feel that people should train in martial arts or a form of fighting, and the benefits that it has done for me. And I would like to challenge you to go out, and just take a class, try it out, see if you like it, and then perhaps sign up to an actual class and see if it changes your life. Thank you.